Hi everyone, I'm Jack Mead and welcome to my free haircutting education series. Today I'm going to be teaching you the classic graduated bob, which is an absolutely must-know haircut. Let's get into it. Start by taking a hot cross bun section straight down the back and then from side to side and behind the ear. Now when you use your sectioning clip, remember to comb the hair in place and then clip the hair from underneath. This will ensure that the hair doesn't start to bag and you'll get a really clean section. Now we're going to take our first section and we're going to make sure that it's large enough that it covers the whole of the hairline. Now split the hair into 3 subsections to ensure that we work really nice and clean. Now we have our first section in the middle. We can use that to create a guide for our line. Now, if I wasn't filming this haircut, I'd be standing directly behind the head, but because I need to show you guys, I'm slightly off to the side. But what we're trying to do here is create a nice straight line, and as I'm working my way around the head, I'm pulling the hair straight from the root with zero tension, cutting through the comb to create a really solid, strong foundation. Now that I've cut my line, I'm now going to move on to the first section and start my graduation. Again, working really cleanly. This is going to really help the end result, and it doesn't take me any longer. I need to map the haircut out. I always say that if I was driving to London every day, I would need a sat nav. But if I drove there 100 times, then I probably wouldn't need the sat nav. But for when we start this haircut, we need the sections there like our sat nav. So now, starting my graduation, I call this the warrior pose. So I have one foot in front of the other, I have my elbow tucked in, and I'm creating a 45-degree angle. Now, graduation is anywhere between 1 and 89 degrees. The amount of graduation you create will depend on the elevation that you use. So, in basic terms, the amount that you lift your hand up or down will create more or less graduation. And remember, a graduation is a build-up of weight. So what we're doing in this haircut is gonna gradually start to build weight. Okay, I'm happy with my first section. I now have a guide and I'm gonna move on to my next subsection, which I'm gonna take at a diagonal. The reason for this is I want to create a very slight build-up of weight towards the ear so that I get a beautiful seamless transition from the back to the front of the haircut and I don't get any holes behind the ear. One of the biggest things to remember with this haircut is that my fingers mimic the section. For example, my fingers start higher and then they come lower as the section travels down. So my elevation starts higher and then it gets lower. So if you're accurate with your sections and then your fingers mimic your sections, you can't go wrong. Here I'm also using a flat clip just to get those little subsections out of my way so I can work really clean. Where I'm taking small diagonal subsections, I'm just building a very slight weight line towards the corner. Now here I have a great little tip that an amazing educator called Davide Spinelli taught me. Where we get to this corner, it's the weakest part of the hairline and it's very, very easy to start putting a hole in your bob, in your outline. So instead of graduating this whole part, I'm simply just gonna continue to cut my line to ensure that I leave that heaviness just behind the